Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. What's your favorite food item? Some might be thinking about pizza, and some might even have long lists of the delicious food items, but how much do you know about the origin of things we all crave and love? Some food you love has odd stories behind them. Let's find out in today's episode of 10 Curious Origins of Your Favorite Foods. Number 10. Mac and cheese. Who doesn't love mac and cheese? Having a bowl of warm mac and cheese will make anyone's day. But do you know the origin of mac and cheese isn't all American? It's not something from the modern world, but dates back to the 1300s in southern Italy. We didn't know it was this ancient. This was more similar to lasagna than anything else, but some even say it came from New England and was known as macaroni pudding. Well, some even say that it was none other than Thomas Jefferson who actually introduced the dish. Though he probably wasn't the first person to introduce Americans to the ooey gooey goodness of macaroni drenched with cheese, Jefferson did have a hand in popularizing it. After he brought back the pasta machine from his trip to Italy, it was used to make the mac and cheese. Back in the year 1937, Kraft was the first company to sell mac and cheese in a box. Well, no matter what the origin of mac and cheese, we know one thing, that these are delicious either made or boxed. Number 9. Nutella. Spread it on bread, just about anything you can think of, Nutella is going to lift your mood in the first bite. Nutella with fries or even with some pizza crust, well, there's nothing that would not taste good with some Nutella on it. The origins of Nutella date back to World War II during the Stark times. It was wartime and chocolate was rationed. This also means that most of the food was reserved for those on the front line. But necessity is the mother of invention. One of the creative people thought that combining chocolate with hazelnut would make it last longer. There was an overabundance of hazelnuts, and they were the perfect ingredient to stretch out their precious chocolate. Thanks to that person, Nutella was made. Nutella is enjoyed all over the world, so try to think of some odd combinations with Nutella and then try them. Number 8. French fries. Most people think that French fries must be French, but that's not quite right. In fact, the origins of French fries can be traced back to a Belgian city named Nemours. It is believed that the French fries were initially made when the rivers froze during winter and there was no way to do fishing. So people were deprived of their staple dish, which was fried fish. So they had to divert to some other meal. So native people started frying potatoes instead. One of the U.S. soldiers stationed there back in World War I allegedly dubbed the potatoes French fries, and that's when the French fries were named. Belgium has even petitioned UNESCO to endorse the fries as an official Belgian cultural heritage. Then there's another speculation according to which fries came from the Spanish culture. We might never be able to trace back the exact origin of French fries, but one thing's for sure, these are insanely tasty. Number 7. Pizza. It's almost impossible for anyone to hate pizza. What would the big game be without pizza? How would we attend pizza parties without it? Pizza is one of the most versatile foods in the world, by far the most perfect food item. This amazing item was created a little over 100 years ago. Raffaele Esposito came up with a special flatbread for the Queen Consort of Italy, Margherita of Savoy, who was visiting his city of Naples. Little did he know, at the time, he was creating something that would change the culinary world forever. Garnishings such as tomato sauce, mozzarella, and basil were added. So the first person to ever put a slice of pizza pie in their mouth was none other than royalty. So this dish is perfect both for a queen and for the lazy bum who can't get off the couch to cook dinner. Number 6. Hot dogs. Hot dogs are the yummiest, but it's also not so American. Dixon's sausages, yeah, that's what they were initially called. These were first invented in Germany and made their way to America during the German immigration back in the 1860s. Back in 1870, it was when the first hot dog was sold in New York by Charles Feltman, who was also an immigrant. At that time, he sold over 3,600 Frankfurters in that year. After this, hot dogs spread all over America like wildfire. Do you know why these were placed in buns? Well, the vendors selling these hot dogs to customers ran out of gloves to give to customers for holding these. That's when it got the American touch. Eat anywhere or anytime, this is just an iconic food. Number 5. 7-Up. 7-Up is a light, crisp, and incredibly refreshing soda. In hot weather, all you want is to grab this chill drink. The first sip of a 7-Up is full of citrus excitement. Some of you may even like to put your ear near the rim of the glass so you can hear the fizzle of 7-Up. The history of 7-Up's origin is quite surprising. Did you know that 7-Up once had lithium in it? Yeah, that lithium, the stuff people take for all sorts of mental illnesses. But back in the 1950s, it was learned that lithium wasn't good for the average person to consume regularly. So eventually, the lithium was removed, and that's when the public was introduced to the 7-Up we all know today. Even 7-Up wasn't the original name of this fizzy, citrusy, sugary water. Are you ready to have your mind blown? At one time, 7-Up was called Bib Label Lithiated Lemon Lime Soda. You'd need a healthy dose of lithium floating through your system if you had to say that several times a day. Number 4. Popsicles. Popsicles were not so the planned discovery, but they ended up as an amazing discovery, and this happened back in 1905. Frank Epperson, on a cold night in California, made himself a lemonade with some sugary soda powdered water. But he somehow left his glass outside overnight, along with a mixing stick in it. The next morning, it was frozen. He pulled out the stick, and the whole frozen block of lemonade followed. And the world came to know about Epsicles. Yeah, that's what they were named. This was sold in the neighborhood for quite a while, but was named in 1923 at his kid's request. So popsicles have become the most popular treat, with over 2 billion popsicles sold each year. Number 3. Coffee. A morning without your coffee. How would you even wake up? Can you imagine that there was once a time when coffee didn't exist? Think about how life would have been without coffee. Well, terrible. But there was a time, and thankfully those days are well behind us. Believe it or not, a goat discovered the coffee none of us can live without. Yes, a goat. An Ethiopian shepherd realized that his goat seemed extremely energetic after eating coffee berries. The shepherd ate a few berries himself, and he too felt euphoric. He took his discovery to a monk who realized that after eating coffee, he could pray for extended periods. It wasn't long before coffee spread to other monks who were thankful for the bean's energetic properties, and they too were able to devote more time to prayer. Coffee spread to every corner of the world, and now it's one of the most popular drinks, period. And now let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. This image was sent to us by a subscriber. Similarly, if you ever wish to know more about an image you come across, just send it to us. Who knows, we might even feature it on one of our videos. Number 2. The subscriber's pick. Our subscriber picture today shows the Kentucky Fried Chicken. Well, with all due respect to Colonel Sanders, fried chicken was not firstly introduced by them. Instead, this food is actually from Scotland, not America. Scots were the first ones from Europe who deep-fried their chickens in hot oil instead of boiling these. Scottish immigrants came to America, and with them, this method also followed. So gradually, American fried chicken was born. Also, Scots didn't used to add any seasons to their fried chicken, but African-American community came to the rescue. The flavored type of chicken was introduced by these Afro-Americans. You would thank them for this creative version as compared to the Scottish version. So the Southerners popularized this delicious food item, but the original masterminds behind these were the Scots. Number 1. Red Velvet Cake. Sophisticated, elegant, polished. What else can we name Red Velvet Cake? Digging deep into the roots of this delicious cake, this one had a decent start. This was initially made to make your Instagram feed look prettier. Velvet cakes are known from the 1800s when softer and finer velvety textured cakes were made, but the red part is the real mystery. Some say it's the beet juice, others even say it is caused by a chemical reaction when cocoa powder, vinegar, and baking soda are mixed together. But nowadays we have our food dyes. Although red velvet cakes seem pricier than other ones, these are bought for looks more than their taste. And that concludes our list of the 10 curious origins of your favorite foods. Now you know where your delicious meal came from. Do you know any other story behind their origin? Comment down below to let us know. Before you go, Don't forget to like and subscribe, and click the bell icon to stay up to date with our latest videos. We'll see you next time.